Ladies and gentlemen, destiny has a way of rewriting the stories we thought had ended. And on one ordinary evening in a quiet cafe, a single dad was about to face the love he thought he had lost forever. The cafe lights glowed warm against the cold drizzle outside. Ethan Blake sat alone at the far corner, his calloused hands wrapped around a cup of coffee that had gone cold long ago. He wasn't here for the coffee. He wasn't even sure why he was here at all. His best friend Mark had insisted he try a blind date, said he deserved it after years of putting everyone else first. But Ethan wasn't convinced. At 38, with a 10-year-old daughter depending on him, the idea of starting over felt like a fantasy. Love for him had been replaced long ago by responsibility, sacrifice, and long nights fixing cars at his mechanic shop just to make ends meet. He sighed, checking his watch. 10 more minutes, he muttered. If she doesn't show, I'm out of here. Just then the cafe door swung open, a gust of wind following as a figure stepped inside. Conversations quieted, eyes turned. She wasn't just another woman walking in, she was magnetic. Tall, poised, her dark hair falling in waves over a perfectly tailored suit. Confidence radiated from her like a second skin. The kind of presence that made people lean back and whisper. But Ethan didn't notice the whispers. He only saw her face, his chest tightened. Time seemed to collapse in on itself. That face, he knew it. He'd memorized it years ago in the summer nights of their youth. In the stolen kisses by the lake, in the promise-filled glances under the stars. It was Claire. She scanned the room, and when her eyes landed on him, she froze. For a long heartbeat, it was as if the years had been erased, as if they were 20 again. Then her lips parted. "Ethan?" she whispered. His chair scraped as he stood slowly, disbelief written across his features. "Claire?" She walked closer, her heels clicking on the polished floor, her gaze never leaving his. When she reached the table, she laughed softly, almost nervously. "I didn't think it could be you." "But it is," he swallowed, his throat suddenly dry. "And I didn't think... what are the odds?" What he didn't say, but thought, was that she looked even more radiant than he remembered. Back then she had been a dreamer with fire in her eyes. Now she was polished, refined, a woman who had conquered the world. She sat down across from him, folding her hands on the table, her elegant watch glinting. "So, this was your blind date too?" He nodded, still stunned. "Yeah, though I almost left before you came." Her laugh was softer this time, carrying a trace of something fragile. That would have been tragic. They stared at each other, both caught between the past and the present. Finally, Ethan broke the silence. "You've changed, but not really. And you," she said, studying him with a smile that didn't quite hide the emotion in her eyes. "Still the same steady Ethan, though you look stronger somehow, stronger." He didn't feel strong. He felt tired, weathered by life. But maybe that was strength. A waiter came by, breaking the moment. Claire ordered tea, Ethan asked for another coffee. When the waiter left, she leaned in slightly. "So tell me, what's life been like?" He hesitated, then answered honestly. "Busy, I run a small auto shop and I'm raising my daughter alone. She's 10 now, bright, stubborn, smarter than me most days." Claire's expression softened. "You're a dad?" He nodded. "Yeah, best thing that ever happened to me. Hardest too, but she's my world." For a moment silence stretched again. Claire's eyes shimmered with something he couldn't name. Finally, she said, "You always were the kind of man who put others first." He studied her. "And you? You look like you've done well for yourself." Her lips curved into a practiced smile, the kind she probably used in boardrooms and interviews. "Yes, I run a company now. Montgomery Industries," he blinked. "Wait, that's you? You're the Claire Montgomery everyone's talking about?" She chuckled. "Guilty." Ethan leaned back, still stunned. "So you actually did it. You chased those big dreams, and caught them." Her smile faltered just slightly. "Yes, but dreams, they come with costs." The weight behind her words made Ethan frown. He wanted to ask more, but she quickly changed the subject. "Tell me about your daughter. What's she like?" His face lit up in a way it hadn't in years. He pulled out his phone, scrolling to a picture of a girl with messy hair and the brightest smile. "This is Lily, she's everything. Loves to draw, hates math, and thinks she's old enough to boss me around." Claire took the phone gently, staring at the photo for longer than necessary. "She's beautiful. She has your eyes." He chuckled softly. "That's what people say." When Claire handed back the phone, her fingers brushed his, sending a spark up his arm. She looked at him then, really looked at him, and for the first time that evening, her CEO mask slipped. He saw vulnerability there, maybe even regret. "Ethan," she said quietly, "do you ever think about what we had? About us?" The question hung between them, heavy, loaded with years of silence. Ethan's heart pounded. Memories flooded back. The laughter, the promises, the night at the bus station when she'd left. He had tried to bury it all, but it had never really died. "Yes," he admitted, his voice rough. "I think about it more than I'd like to admit." Her eyes glistened. "Me too." The air between them crackled, the years melting away. Yet just as quickly reality slammed back in. Ethan clenched his jaw, reminding himself who she was now, a millionaire CEO, and who he was, a single dad mechanic. Different worlds. Different lives. Still in that moment, neither of them looked away, and that was when Lily's voice echoed in Ethan's mind. Her words from earlier that day, when she'd begged him not to cancel the blind date. "Daddy, maybe this time it'll be someone nice. Someone who makes you smile again." Now, staring at Claire across the table, Ethan realized his daughter might have been right. But just as he opened his mouth to say something, Claire's phone buzzed on the table. She glanced at the screen and her face paled. Quickly, she silenced it, slipping it into her bag. "Everything okay?" Ethan asked. She forced a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Yes, just business," but he knew better. He knew when she was hiding something. And whatever it wasn't just business. Before he could press further, she leaned forward, her voice almost a whisper. "Ethan, would you meet me again? Please." His heart skipped. The girl who once left him, the CEO who could have anyone, was asking for another chance. And in that moment, he didn't know what scared him more. Saying no. Or saying yes.